Meanwhile, now to this. So states are trying to protect against the potential red threat, and Indiana is putting forward a bill to ban China and other foreign adversaries from buying U.S. farmland after a damning report showed Chinese investors own hundreds of thousands of acres. The lawmaker who proposed the bill joins us now, Indiana State Representative Kendell Culp. Representative Culp, thanks for being with us. So the idea here is if you're from an adversary nation, you can't buy agricultural land, and you can't buy any property within 10 miles of a military maintenance facility or 50 miles of a base. Got it. That makes sense to me. The part that is tricky is the way that you enforce it is through these guys signing an affidavit saying, hey, we're not here from a foreign adversary nation. How does that work, sir? Explain how you enforce this.
Sure. Well, our Attorney General says that that's not necessary, that we have to have an affidavit. Because when they purchase the land, obviously they have to meet the current law. And if this passes, obviously that will be in statute. But I think it makes it easier to enforce that if they do have a document stating that they do not meet the definition of a foreign adversary, and then actually they do. I think that makes it easier in a court to uphold that.
Representative, if I may ask on a more broader scale, why at all we allow foreign nationals that are not citizens here to come purchase land doesn't really make sense to me. If you tried to do the reverse in China, it would never fly. It's the same thing with the migrant crisis as well. If you try to go to China, they need every single detail about you, yet Chinese are coming up on our southern border and flocking into this country. So why is it, in principle, that it would have even been allowed in the first place?
Well, that's a really good question. That's why we're going to draw a line in the sand in Indiana. And we're going to make sure that what little bit they do own here, that's going to be all that they own as we go forward. And, you know, those adversarial countries, the U.S. government keeps that list. Currently, there's 6 countries on that list. They would be not only in Indiana prohibited from purchasing land, but they would be prohibited from leasing that land as well, or leasing or buying our water rights, mineral rights, or riparian rights.
On a broader picture as well, there's been a lot of frustration lately from farmers in particular about inflation, this sort of global sustainability push that blames climate change on agriculture and on farmers. What are you hearing from your farmers and your constituents about the pressure this is putting on them?
Well, certainly from an adversarial standpoint, you know, when you think about what incentivizes or what tempts an American, usually there's dollars attached to that. There's financial interest involved with that. But the farmers and landowners that I talk to, that does not bother them a bit. They want to make sure that those adversaries to the U.S. are kept out of Indiana. And if that means that's going to cost them some dollars or they could have profited from that, they don't care because they're putting food security first. And of course, we know if our food security is in jeopardy, then our national security is at risk as well.
Well said. Thank you for joining us today, Representative Culp. Really appreciate it.